Welcome back. This must mean that you finished all the 5 tutorials for Crossy Road Chicken. Well done. And let's see how it fits into the larger project. Let's have a look. So remember, the bigger project was to propose, design and develop an interactive museum game. Proposing, designing and developing are 3 different stages in the development of the game. The first stage is the proposal, propose the outcome. By the way, the outcome, by outcome we mean the game itself. So it's a digital outcome, it's something that you make on the computer with a computer, it's a digital outcome. So proposing the outcome basically means that you have an idea to solve a problem, to solve an issue, and you are proposing it. Suppose that you're in an elevator together with a millionaire, and suppose that she wants to hear your idea to see if it's any good to invest some money in for you to actually make your idea, in this case your game. So your proposal is basically your ideas put together of who's it for, what is it going to do, what is it going to solve, and hype it up as much as you can. Then designing the outcome is the part of the process whereby you're not making it just yet. What you're doing is you're kind of figuring out what it looks like. So you think about contents, colors, layouts, you're sketching, you're doing thumbnails, you're doing mind maps, those kind of things. That's the design phase of the process. And then the last part of the process is making the outcome. So that's where you already have in the design phase, you've already put together an idea of what it should look like. And now you're actually going to go to your software, in this case Gamefroot, and you're going to put the whole thing together to make it work, to make an actual game. Right, so how are we going to do that? Obviously we have no idea how to do that. So I've put together a little template for you. You can find it on the Digital Technologies webpage, and I'll show you now on where to find it, what to do with it, and how to use it. All right, let's go. Okay, now let's see if we can find the templates. The template is located on our Digital Technologies webpage. I've explained to you to go to Google Classroom. I've explained it in the first video. Go to Google Classroom and click on the link there. You'll end up on the page here, Year 9, Part 2 Museum Game. You click that. And here you'll see everything that you need. You've seen the first video, you've done the tutorials, and you're watching this video now here. The document templates, it might look slightly different now because I keep changing this page, but it looks like this one here. It's called Museum Game Templates, and what I do is I click on it, it shows it, and then what I have to do is open it. It'll open up, and in here you will have to make a copy of this document. This document is mine. You only have viewing rights to it, which means you can only view it. If you want to change stuff to it because you want to use it as your templates, you want to fill in your answers, you need to go to File and then make a copy. I'll call it a copy of 9dig, yep, document templates, and I decide which folder I'm going to save it into. I've got a folder called 9dig Museum Game, so that's fine. You make sure that you save it in the location where it's logical, give it a name, and ideally you would like to have your own name in this file name, so I know that it's your file once you hand it in. Click OK, opens up another tab, and here on the top you just double click it and you fill in your name here, you replace it with your name. Right, I'm ready now to tackle the first questions. So we're in this document is set up in 3 different parts, which is parallel to the process I just discussed. So we've got the proposal first, we have the design, and then making your museum, which is basically development of your museum. Okay, not too much. First one, the issue. What is the main issue we're trying to solve? And you have to put your answer in here. So you have to replace this line with your answer. The issue is that museums are boring. So you'll fill in your own answer here about what the issue is. Then the proposed solution, what are we making? We are making an interactive museum game to make museums slightly more interesting, right? So you fill in that answer here. Right, what makes a museum interesting? I want you to do some research. I want you to find 3 museums or museum exhibits that you think are interesting. You don't have to have been there, or it doesn't need to be in New Zealand. It can be somewhere else as well. What I want you to do is make a screen grab or a screenshot. If you don't know how to do it, it's all in here, in this little block here. Describes how to do a screen grab on a Windows computer, on a Chromebook, and on a Mac. So if you don't know how to do it, click one of those links. So what I want you to do is make a screen grab, screenshot of each website, of the website itself, not of a picture, so of the website that you find your information on, paste it into your document. Then the third thing is copy the link to each website into your document. So the link is the thing that sits up here, that's a link. And then write 1 or 2 sentences about what makes each exhibit or museum special. And you can do it as I've suggested down here. So that's museum 1 in a little table. Screen grab or screenshot, you just paste it in here. The link you paste in here, and why is it so special? You do that for the 3 museums and you're done with that section. Okay, let's move on. The big idea is basically, what is the topic of your museum? What is your museum going to be about? Is it going to be about bananas, about Lego, about Disney movies? Think of a few ideas first and then pick the best one and fill in your answer here. Okay. Then we'll have to think about, all right, so we're making a museum game. That's fine. We're going to use Gamefroot. We have a topic now. Who are we making it for? So who we're making it for, we call them the end users. Who we're making it for, who would be interested. Think about gender, age, ethnicity, and those kind of things. So don't write down everyone who likes it. That's a bit general. Think about age brackets. So do you want to do it for younger children from 4 to 10? Do you want to do it for teenagers? Do you want to do it for older people? Because when you think about it, when you make something for a younger child, it will look different to when you make it for an older person. For a younger child, they can't read just yet, so you possibly have lots of pictures in there rather than text. Also, their colors will be totally different. So you need to pick out the end users who you're going to make it for. Okay. Then requirements. So we've got the topic, the end users. What does it need to do? What does it need to have to make it function? Think about a fridge. What does it need to have to make it a fridge, to make it function? Obviously, it needs to have some kind of cooling system, otherwise it's not a fridge. And it needs to have a door, otherwise you can't actually put the food into the fridge. If it doesn't have those things, it's not a fridge. So think about the things that your museum will need to make it a museum game as you envisage it. I'm giving you a few already. So for instance, it must include a central character that serves as a digital guide. That's the first one. The second one is the end user should be able to select options to guide the digital guide through the museum. So the digital guide is basically think about a little platform game. It will have your character in there that you can walk around with. So the end user, the person using your game, should be able to select options to guide the digital guide through the museum. So maybe for jumping, it needs to have the end user needs to press spacebar, or maybe it goes up and down by using arrow buttons, those kind of things. All right, the third thing, the digital exhibition should be easy to use. Think about explanation, what to do next in your game. It needs to be easy to use, and it should be error-free. You would think that that is quite logical, but I have to put it in there, obviously, because it needs to have those kind of things to make it functional. Right, so those are the requirements that I've given you. Then you have to think of 2 or more of your own. So at the moment, it's an empty space with a little character that the end user can move around. What else does it need to have? Think about, does it need walls, roofs, windows, exhibitions, toilets, those kind of things. Those are the things I want to see. The things it needs to have to make it your museum. Right, the proposal is done. It's very short, but it makes sure that you think about the things you need to think about first. Now we get into the design side of things. Design means, what does it look like? Think about the sections of your museum. What sections should be in your museum? Make a list. For example, sections in a Disney museum. It could be Walt Disney when he was young, classic Disney movies, Disney in the future. So you put in your answer down here and replace that line with your answer. So it should be a list of things. Then you need to think about, okay, so you've got sections. How are the users going to flow through your museum? Do they follow a storyline? Do they just wander from section to section? You have to draw up a sketch of what your museum should look like. You can use Google Drawings or any other program, or you can hand draw it and take a picture, but your answer should be here. So that should have a little picture in there. Your museum will have a few images in there, and these 2 links here, these ones, will take you to some tutorials for Photopia on how to crop a photo online and how to remove a background from a photo. Those are 2 things that you might want to do with your photos when you put them in your museum. So do those ones first before you actually start making your museum. It's a bit of a skill building, but at least you've got it under your belt if you want to do it. All right, so you've got your proposal done, you've got your design done. At the moment, you thought about the flow through the museum, what it's going to look like roughly, and then you're off and making your museum. The only thing you need to do then is go to Gamefroot and click on a button there that says Museum Maker. Right, when you go into Gamefroot, you have something called Museum Maker down the bottom here, Museum Maker. And as per the other tutorials, you'll have instructions down the side. You say, let's go build some bits and pieces for you, and you just go through the levels to build your museum. Easy as pie. And once you're done, you have to share a link to your museum as per the steps here. You click that little green button. When you click that button, you see a link there, a remix link. You'll press that little button there, copy the clipboard, and what you do in your documents, you can paste that link in here. So that's a link I want. Because that link I can use to get into your game and actually play it and see what you've made out of it. Cool, that's it. So once you've copied everything in, the only thing you still need to do is hand it into Google Classroom. On our webpage, here I've actually put down some instructions on how to do that. So what you do is go to Google Classroom, click your class, find a museum assignment in your Google Classroom, select your museum documents, and then press button turn in. If you wanted to still work on it, you have to unsubmit to keep working on your documents. Excellent. All right, so those are the instructions on how to develop your museum game. Good luck, and don't forget to put in that link to your game in the end of that document, because that link is important for me to check whether you have done it right. And also don't forget to hand in your documents into Google Classroom. There's instructions on the website on how to do that. If you want to do that now, before you even start it, you can do so as well. On the website, it actually says how to unsubmit a piece of work out of Google Classroom. So you can hand it in now, even though you haven't actually started it, but at least I can see it from there. And even at the end, if you forget to hand it in, it's there, I can see it, I can grade your work. So good luck, have fun, and make an awesome museum game. Cheers.